Alright, y'all, so here's part 3 of that Umbreon run we did a while ago. And, you're a goof when you forget to get around to the last part of something. So, what you're seeing up top right now is the Brock battle, as we just took down his Amistar. Remember, this being Sacred Gold, him having a whole bunch of stuff, cuts a grass move, you know all that. But I wanted to kind of touch on things you'll see come later in the run here, that the Kanto gyms were kind of pushovers. Like, more often than not, I beat them in one shot. As you see, his golem about to go down heavy. Ooh, one cut is actually useful in something. But I wanted to kind of talk about, my experience with the run and doing all of it, and just kind of the importance of it. So, I'm sure you guys all know Umbreon's my guy. I even have the little dude tattooed. It was fun for me to be able to use my favorite Pokemon in a solo run-esque setting, because I know you guys are slightly familiar with the mime runs if you follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch, by the way. And this run, though very stressful at times, it was one of those, very worth the stress kind of runs. Because, sure, Umbreon's not the best attacker, and he's he's a bulk monster, which he really is. Brock really has his weird obsession with things that are half water, and 4 times weak to grass. But anyway, as you see Brock's final mon go down here, this run meant a lot to us, as it was unlocked by a thing we call Flywood St. Jude. Speaking of which, Flywood St. Jude 2 is coming up December 18th, 19th, and 20th, 2020 on our Twitch channel. Make sure you follow the link down below for that, as we are now going to the Misty fight here. Look at those little toe beans on Politoed. Anyway, you guys came out in full force and did a lot to help them kids within the St. Jude Hospital. Nothing will ever take away what we did that day. But, it got me to thinking recently, when I was doing the setup for Flywood St. Jude 2, thinking I might have to set the Espeon Sacred Gold run for that. But if you guys want to see it, let me know. Come out to the streams, be like, hey, Espeon run, do it. I digress, but it will be as a part of the dono incentives for Flywood St. Jude 2. Anyway, I'm just having a go at Misty here. Misty's just, again, when we were level 100 before even leaving the Elite Four for the first run, it made these particular battles really easy. As you see, this is I think this is my only run at Misty during this whole fucking challenge here. So, anyway, just gonna pop out the Lapras here, the big bulk monster it is. And, I think it takes it's at least a 2-shot? Just because of the bulk it has? Yep, it's a 2-shot. But no. This run, you had to employ some strategy into this to make up for the fact that Umbreon is not the best attacker. You've seen me utilize Toxic Stall, You've seen me utilize Confuse Ray and Sand attacks. Like, sure, I was able to, you know, overpower things as I needed to. But, like, you've seen me utilize Payback. Like, Payback was a pivotal strat for us in the Elite Four. Payback, which you'll see later once we cover Red. Well, I will get to Red once we get further down here, but because that was an experience in and of itself. Because I only put the winning run of Red on, because otherwise this video would be like an easy hour and a half, and I did not want this last part to go that long, so understandable. But we have a battle of evolutions on the screen at the moment. Umbreon, Vaporeon pops a full restore, but you really have to think on your feet when it comes to solo run challenges like this, which is what I kind of like about it. Like when I was doing the Umbreon Run, even like the Johto gyms all gave me issues one way or another. I mean, but when you know you're at level 100, going into the Kanto gyms, you're going to have an easier time. But I will say this, though. As you guys seen, probably in the tier list video that I just put out about gym leaders and trial captains and whatnot, you saw I ranked Chuck very highly. I ranked Chuck that high because of this run right here. Like... Ooh, that's the synchronized poisons there, Golduck there. And even utilizing synchronized strats, be like, hey, you thought you poisoned me, bruh, but get poisoned right back. Like, a lot of thinking on the feet. Now, how the Umbreon run differed from our Mr. Mime runs, because you've only seen the Mr. Mime runs from, I think, Yellow and Crystal on here. You guys haven't seen the Emerald, Platinum, and Black and White runs. Mostly because I forgot to port those over. And now they're lost in the Twitch wind. But, either way, like to draw the comparison to Mr. Mime and how fast you can do this run, it's not the fastest. Because, you know, obviously the Mime has a little better speed and a better move pool to work with, but we also did the Umbreon run in a game that's designed to be harder. So, that in and of itself. But you figure if we were to have taken Mr. Mime through this, we would have had a way easier time. Because I forget how you get Thunderbolt in Sacred Gold Storm Silver. But, you know, the Mime has like a lot of good coverage where Umbreon doesn't really. But we have a lot of survivability with Umbreon where you don't really with Mr. Mime. So I kind of thought about doing a run of Sacred Gold Storm Silver with all the evolutions, because I thought that would be really cool. I don't know if you guys want to see that. Let me know as we fight Lieutenant Surge here. After this Surge battle, you're gonna see the I did end up using the speed up button after Lieutenant Surge because I really wanted to get to Red. On this particular day, I was like determined to get to Red. Like, this run was just, oh my god. This is probably one of the biggest labors of love I've ever done as far as content goes. Like, when you're utilizing a favorite mon that, yeah, you can. But I've mentioned all the stuff about Umbreon and his attacking stuff before. Now you see me kicking the speed up button. Now keep in mind, Electivire is a part fighting type in a Drayano hack, so... But then again, shout out to Drayano too. Like, my dude. You're a fucking legend, man. I don't know if you'll ever see this, but you are an absolute legend in the community, my guy. Fucking love your hacks. And, at the time of this going up, I know Dre is working on a update for Sacred Gold Storm Silver to get all the good stuff from, like, Renegade Platinum, where you have the fairy typing, you have updated moves, the 1 in 512 shiny odds, which I'm looking forward to that, because that appeals to my little bit of a shiny hunter that still resides in my soul. But at the end of the day, I do want to give a bit of a shout out. Oh god, double team. But then I was, in this instance, I'm like, haha, you thought, bitch! I have Feint Attack. It never misses. Anyway, major shout out to all who came and donated during Flywood St. Jude 1. I know this is a very long time removed after that, but like my guys like Chris, Mr. Ambassador, Papa B, Black Rose Angel, Primus, Jick, I think Sean was even in there, straight up Sean, Amara Ravenfire, anybody who donated, and if I don't remember your name, I apologize to the best. Oh yeah, Aquila Sevenfold was even in there. If I forgot, because again, it is November the 11th of 2020 when I'm recording this. We did this run back during the summer, and I'm just getting around to doing this now. I apologize for that, by the way. Flashback pack and all that has kind of taken over my soul. So, but anyway, if you donated during Flywood St. Jude 1 and I, for some reason, forgot your name anyway, I do apologize for that, but the love is still the same, you know what I mean? But as we power through his Ampharos there, we see the light coming at the end of the tunnel here. Our Umbreon has just been absolutely killer. But anyway, so we hit the Feint Attack here on the Raichu. But also, guys, this style of presentation, I may have mentioned it in the first two parts, but this kind of style of presentation is a little new for me. I still do it in my very off-the-cuff, like, top of the head, I fire it out kind of thing. I'm not one for scripting. Like, I feel if I were to have scripted this entire thing out, it wouldn't have the same... It wouldn't have the same feeling to it. It wouldn't have the... I put the work... Like, reading off of a script and going off the cuff, like, sure, you know, scripting it's all clear, concise, you have what you want to have said, you get it over, and you move on. But when I do things off the cuff like this, I feel like it's a more personal, like we're personally having a conversation about this. And I'm not just like blinders on, teleprompter, let's go, devoid of any like feeling whatsoever. So also, for the beat you're listening to right now, shout out to my cousin Yambino for allowing me to use his music. Him and I, super tight. I actually just got to see him recently. It was really nice. And yes, he is my actual cousin. So, if you aren't following Yambino on the socials, which is YAMBIN0, make sure you go do so right now, dude. Dude's a real OG. Love that kid. But anyway, you're about to see us beat down this here Jolteon. Him using Swagger was a bad decision. And now, that gets us our next badge. Okay, so I want to point out, while we kind of rip through Janine here, in this iteration of Sacred Gold and Storm Silver, there was a weird Shelter and Cloyster infestation in Fuchsia City. And it was like, okay, I have to clear out all the Shelter before I'm allowed to challenge the gym. And I'm gonna give Drayano some fucking props right now for kind of foresighting this. Because you remember the Red Gyarados event in Johto? Well, basically, I don't know if I did clip it out and put it up here for you guys to see. Which I think I might have done. I don't know. Again, I compiled the clips like months ago. And I'm a fucking dork and I forget to finish things. Which reminds me, you know what, I'll cover it in an update video later. But did we clip that shiny? Nope, we go straight to Erica. Okay, but basically, the final Cloyster you have to take out within the Overrun by Shelter and Cloyster event is a shiny Cloyster. And yes, I caught it. I'm not just gonna not catch a shiny. That would, like, kill the shiny hunter in my soul. So, as you see, Erica, you know, legit pushover. Get out of here, scrub. Hit the bricks, Junior. Although this Blossom did give me a little bit of issues, because, you know, I don't know if it was the Meganium before this or the Blossom, but dealing with the confusion part of it. It was the Blossom that confused me. So this Blossom using confusion strats really, like, slowed down the pace, but once I got past Blossom, it was just hit the bricks, Junior. And Sabrina. Now, I did have to do Sabrina one more time because of this Gallade. Because I wasn't expecting her to lead with Gallade, which threw me off, and having, you know, the two Psychic and Fighting types as the leads right away, solid move on Sabrina's part, but after we get through them, it's Sweepsville. And then we have this here Wobbuffet. So we had to play the counter Mirror Coat game. Nobody likes the counter Mirror Coat game. And I did have to do Blaine one more time as well, because I went in there with little HP. But as you'll see here, we blazed through the Rapidash. We blazed through the Ninetales. Magcargo's not even really realistically a threat. It's the Arcanine later. Because I remember the Arcanine giving me a little bit of trouble. But Camerupt, you know. Camerupt. Oh, that was a crit. Never mind. It's like on other bulky mons is where I struggled a lot in this run, is on other bulk mons and fighting types. Can't forget about the fighting types. And then probably the second hardest, I wouldn't say second hardest, fucking Chuck gave me the work. As far as, like, a challenge goes, Blue is definitely up there. And as you'll see here in a little bit, Red also is a fucking hassle. But, so, while we were taking on blue here, I'm going to explain the red arc. So, because I end up finishing blue in one battle. It is what it is. I took out blue in one attempt. But, anyway, red. So, we employed 3 different strategies when it came to red. We went in with the set that we're currently using, which we would get as far as, I think, because we would get past Pikachu. Getting past Pikachu wasn't a problem. That part never was an issue. It was the Snorlax. Because, again, Umbreon had a lot of problems against other bulky Pokemon. And you'll see that in the final red match. We kept getting wrecked, kept getting wrecked. So then, I went and put Payback back onto the set. We would get as far, I think we even got 2 Blastoise once before it killed me. Because everything outsped me, so therefore I could utilize Payback. But then, as you'll see here just shortly, our final battle with red. At this point, I was already angry. The Payback strat wasn't working, so we had to X-item. We X-special defensed. There was a lot of healing. There was a lot of heal stall when it came to Pikachu. Because if he misses the Thunder, like, you Payback him straight to hell. Like, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Like, if he misses the Thunder, you can Payback him straight to hell, and it's GG from there. So we used the Pikachu to set up the X items. I set up 6 X attacks, a dire hit there, and 6 X speeds. Like, I went all out. Because the Payback strat wasn't working. Any other strategic move I was doing. I even tried Toxic Stall, and Toxic Stall wasn't even getting all the way through red. So, we had to X-item up. I had to bite the bullet on that, but as you see, we keep setting up on the Pikachu. I probably didn't need to go all 6 X attacks. I probably could have did it with 3. But, and as you'll see here, once we get all the X items set up, it's Sweepsville. For the most part, anyway. So now, we should be just about set up here. There we go. Now we're set up. And it's just Pikachu, hit the bricks, Junior. And it was a crit. That was nice. But alright, so now next up, Charizard comes out. And then I do believe it's a feint attack. +6 attack, stab. This is the way we had to go to defeat red. Like, if we get to the Umbreon Run, I feel like Umbreon will have an easier time at red than Umbreon did. I feel like Umbreon's going to have an easier time overall than Umbreon did. But nah, like, because when it came to the Payback strat, we got through the starters just fine. Because I do believe he comes through with Venusaur after this. Well, Blastoise, we've had runs end at. We've gotten all the way to Snorlax, had runs end that way. Because I do believe he has Snorlax in this one, if I recall correctly. I'm kind of re-watching the battle as you guys are, but because again, this was our winning run against Red. And it was just... I did have to heal up occasionally due to the fact of the hail. Okay, he does send out Venusaur next. Now, this is where I thought about even packing X Special. Because, let's face it, there's not much a difference between Umbreon's physical attack and his special attack. I think it's like a 5-point difference. I thought about bringing X Special specifically for the Venusaur. But, as you see, that dire hit that we used is coming in clutch. Because a lot of these are crits. Here's the Snorlax. And he shit on so many of our runs at the Red fight. Like, so many of them. But no, having that dire hit was very crucial to what we needed to do. Like, if we don't pop that dire hit, because of the bulk that a lot of Red's mons have, because as you see, that was a crit too. Would the crit have mattered? Probably. Given Umbreon's attacking abilities, the crit, even at +6 physical attack, is a requirement. And then, obviously, the Espeon is last. I feint attack him in the next week. And that is the battle with Red. I'd like to thank you all for checking out this Umbreon solo run. It was very fun for me to make. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And now I must humbly bid you adieu, and until the next Evolution run, whenever that may be, as Sean drops 1,000 bits, good day, goodbye, and good night.